Motherfucking welcome. I know we ain't even a second in, and I'm already
All right.
cursing. I don't give a damn. It's that kind of day. Listen, you already know what time it is. You already know the show you're at, the place you're at, the place to be. Listen, I am Dean. Right across me in the virtual world, the virtual screen. That is the yin, the yang, the chaos, maybe the zen, or the zen and the chaos. Lord don't know. No one knows. Only he knows. But in his case, is it even the Lord? Don't know. Brother Zen, how are you?
Chilling, a little tired, but good. A decent night. We'll have to dip off at a point at some point in this to say goodnight to my daughter, but
You know
not
what I
yet.
mean? Listen, ain't no
It's
problem.
dumb
Well,
late, people. I know it is late. She should be asleep by now already, but we were out late.
they don't know what time we're recording this shit.
Hey, it is 9:48.
Oh,
6.
okay.
Sorry,
I'm
I'm
about to
telling
say
you,
6.
it's
I'm
late.
about to say, like,
Late.
hold on.
9:46. It
Something
is
you want
late.
to tell me, Zen? Why is the fact that your clock 2 minutes faster than mine?
Hey, we did not jump. My eyes suck, so from this distance, it looked like an 8 for a second.
I
But
see you.
no, we good.
Glitch in the system. Well, people, welcome to Zen fucking chaos. There's gonna be a lot of chaos today. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of Zen, because hell, Zen is the one who came with the chaos. I think for this particular week,
I did.
and so we might as well get right on into it because you brought up something that I had no idea was happening. That is just getting swept under the rug. That the Democratic Party is actually throwing down with. They are. So if I'm not mistaken, what you submitted was that our good friends down in North Carolina, the Democratic Party, is basically
They baby back bitches. That's what I'm calling.
and then they were able to bully the Green Party off the ballot.
Yeah.
For this
Because
upcoming midterm election.
Because they were scared. They were pussy asses, like I like to say.
Well, you know what? Let's play a clip first before we get into the article, just to kind of set the tone. So, Zen, what is this clip about right here?
So, from what I'd gathered, Green Party was trying to get on the ballot down in North Carolina. I don't know what elections they're running for exactly, but
they needed like 13,000 votes. They ended up getting a total of 20,000.
Like they got way over what they needed.
But then 15 of them were actually valid. The other ones were not.
Either way, you needed 12. You got 15.
Yep.
So you did your thing. You went out and put in the work to try and get on the ballot. Why? Because we live in a country that's like, hey, it's either red or blue, and that's it. And it's like, no, nigga, we got
out of here.
So they're trying to get in. Dems jumped up and were like, hold up. If y'all get on, we ain't that good.
Our vote.
You're gonna take our votes, or you're gonna take votes that we need, and the Republicans are gonna end up winning. So let's try and infiltrate y'all. Let's try and do what we can to get y'all off the ballot. What are one of the tricks we gonna do? Let's have some people call and fake being Green Party people to try and get Green Party members to take their names off the ballot that they signed to get a Green Party member on, because that makes sense.
Listen, enough talking. Here we go. I ain't gonna say nothing. Here we go.
Confirm whether or not I signed a petition. Mass, who are you calling with? What organization? Oh, is this the Green Party?
Yes.
You're with the Green Party?
Yes, and we have you listed as wanting to get the candidates of the North Carolina ballot. Did you sign that petition?
So you were calling as a representative of the Green Party?
As a volunteer, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I did sign.
Okay. So we kind of see the tone. Zen was explaining everything earlier. We know what's happening. We also know why I had to stop it at 30 seconds. Here we go.
Okay. And would you say you strongly support it or just somewhat support it?
I mean, I don't think I'd sign something unless I strongly support it.
Okay. Well, thank you for confirming. Animal participation in elections is important. If the Green Party is on the ballot, it will take votes away from Democrats, giving Republicans a huge advantage that will help them win North Carolina in 2022 and 2024. There's far too much at stake to let this happen. Are you interested in asking to have your name removed from this petition or leave it as is?
Because that makes sense. Like, whoever thought this up thought that made sense. Like
that.
What? You are calling from my party and are going to say, hey, we're gonna cause Democrats to lose and the Republicans to win. So you do you really support this? Like, do you really think that we like who thought this strategy up? But
What
it's
if it was
dumbass
Republicans?
Democrats. This is dumbass Democrats.
No, hold on. Hear me out. Because it could be dumbass Democrats, and I know that people are gonna. It could be Republicans. It could be anybody. Because hear me out, right? Because right now, people, this is what I need everyone to understand: is that America is currently, we're at a proxy war right now in the Ukraine. All bets are fucking off at this point in time, right? Like countries such as Russia and Ukraine, they understand the dissent, the distrust, the disinformation that is going on amongst, within the United States of America, the turmoil that we're at. We're literally just a fucking one event away from shit really popping off in a negative way. These countries and these entities understand whom and what they're dealing with. And they also understand the next two elections that are coming up within the midterms, well, the presidential elections right after that. So, folks, let me try to tell you something right now. If you don't believe that disinformation and espionage is not going to be done, I got another thing coming for you. This could have been any fucking body. I'm not saying that it's not the Democrats, but we need to not put we need to not keep no blinders on our motherfucking faces right now. Especially when you got down there in I believe it's in North Dakota, we have an Air Force base that is a drone base that you have Chinese fucking spies, the Chinese government decided to buy, I think 30 miles away from it, a ton of fucking land. You have to ask yourself why. You have to ask yourself when both of our countries are literally openly talking shit to each other. And from our past elections that Russia has been involved in them, and we have a proxy war with them right now. I've said it earlier. And then also, too, we made them default on United States dollars. Shout out to the, to the fucking spy. I forget his name. Shout out to him for putting that piece of knowledge in. So shit we're not in a good place. So who knows what the fuck this is? Who fucking knows? I don't know.
It could be Republicans. The difficulty would be.
What if it's an outside source, though?
It could be a nobody. The element that would make it difficult for it to be an outside source to me is that in this, though we are sharing in the one clip here, there are reports that this is something that took place with like thousands of people, where there were some people who said that they got like 20 calls in a day. So this is kind of like it sounds like there was a team put together.
It's a concerted attack. Yeah,
I would find it awkward for the Republican Party to
impersonate the Democrats to do that. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? And also, too, Democrats are stupid enough to do this as well. The fact of the matter is this, and it's all I'm trying to say, and this is what I want people to really do, because this is what we're here really about. Let's make sure we get these motherfuckers thinking outside the box, because ultimately, who fucking knows? That's what the man said, because obviously he goes, I'm a Green Party representative. Then he speaks as if he's a Democrat, but who fucking knows? This is chess, not checkers. And we need to start looking at it as such.
It's North Carolina, so I can't even say like there's a whole lot there intelligence-wise to go by, But no, but
no. But think about this: North Carolina, definitely has some of the military presence down there. We got shit going on there, and then also too, North Carolina is one of those states that is it has gone red, it's gone blue. Lately it's been blue, but then who fucking knows?
Dems stink at self-promotion. So to me, it would make sense that you would try and sabotage your potential competition that's not really competition in the end over Republicans who would just go out and literally badmouth you. They'll just go up and try and dig stuff up on you. Democrats, to me, are the type that would be like, we don't have the resources to dig very well, so we'll just try and flip people. And we're not good at that, so we'll just try and trick them off because they might be that dumb.
Oh, well, that's 100%.
So that's why I lean to this being more of a Democratic thing, because it sounds like more of a bitch move. At least when it comes to Republicans, they just come out and try and go do you dirty, as opposed to the bitch move of, whoa, let me try and scam you off the ballot here.
Well, hold on. There's two things. One, I do want to say that not saying North Carolina is historically blue, but it's like it's a swing state in a bit of regards. It has been historically one way, but it can kind of go back and forth.
Yeah.
But I will say this in regards to what you stated about like why would Republicans do that? That's not their move. Well, if you listen to some of these younger Republicans who state that listen, they will get down and dirty like Democrats. Why wouldn't they when you're sitting there looking thinking in their think tanks? Why wouldn't you do this?
Yeah.
Why not? We don't fucking know.
Very true. Maybe it's their wised up plans like, oh, let's pose as Democrats posing as Green Party members. Let's
why not
do that
why
to
not
try and throw them off. Yeah, that could be. That very well could be the case.
And listen, this is why we as individuals need to. We see what's happening. We see what's at face value. Now we need to actually start really deep diving to figure out, all right, what's happened to the Green Party? Because people, if you really truthfully give a fuck about your election integrity, if you actually, give a fuck the way you act as if you do when it comes to our elections and then the security of them, and then also to the sanctity and the respect of them, this is something that you would absolutely want to get behind, trying to figure out what the fuck happened. Mm-hmm. But the fact that it's able to now, but see, this is the thing that gets it. This is what makes you think that it has to be, maybe it is the Democratic Party, because how is it getting snuffed down by mainstream media?
Mm-hmm.
But then also, too, mainstream media is not just independent of the fucking Democratic Party. So our Republicans somehow complicit in it, too, because not even the goddamn Fox News is talking about it. Or any of the conservative journals. You have the Libertarian Party down there. I'm sorry?
I'm not sure what network posted this.
There was one network that
what party posted it? Where the Carolina Journal leans, maybe.
Okay,
they're the ones who shared it. So if they're
it's also right in their backyard,
right? So it's
maybe this is getting covered.
And nobody else is saying, yeah, it might just be a local news and only local. But I would think this would make national. You got ever heard national? Exactly? Yeah. Be like, hey, we're cheating over here in one of the states that you would think that this would get more coverage.
Either side is. So now it just makes you wonder, all right, so what is the fucking larger game?
They don't care about North Carolina?
But they should.
Yeah, you should. Swing state.
Care about every fucking state.
But this is it. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's it. Maybe they don't care about them. It's North Carolina. Who cares? Nobody's going to care about what Democrats are doing to cheat down there. Nobody's going to listen. It's North Carolina.
Well, hey, Zen, why would they give a fuck when guess what? On the national federal stage, we fucked Bernie Sanders in the first election against Trump. That's why we ended up getting Hillary versus Trump, and fucking Donald waxed the floor with this fucking bitch. And let me tell you something else for you stupid, silly motherfuckers. If I hear not near one of you motherfuckers try to talk about putting Hillary Clinton up, you are the reason that we're in this mess we're in now with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris running this country down the fucking shithole. I know a lot of you gonna say is, well, anything's better than Donald. Is it?
No.
Is it?
Not necessarily, no.
Now we're living in this shit.
Yep.
We're in rough times then. We're in rough times because folks just don't truthfully understand how to give a fuck without people telling them to give a fuck. Right? So, for a while, I've been talking on airways about how I hate the way the LGBTQIA+ community would operate in certain regards. When it came to kids, when it came to exploitation of kids, and when I say that, just some of the shit, you know what I mean? I wasn't liking it, and I still don't like it, right? I'll go on here right now as we record, which is going to be on fucking, all over the internet. I don't believe that kids should be able to transition. That's something they should do as an adult. Don't get me wrong. If if the kid is growing up and the kid wants to dress a certain way, but the fuck it is, you as a parent should do that. But I don't think you should be giving the kid physical blockers and shit like that to block like that. No, you gotta let the kid decide that shit when they become a fucking adult. You can't even fucking go listen. You got to wait until you're 18 years old to vote. You got to wait till you're 18 years old to serve the army. And in a certain stage, you got to wait till you're 21 to smoke cigarettes, drink beer. Did you know for men, most men, if you don't have kids or anything like that, you got to wait till you're 35, 36 to get a vasectomy. They won't just let you get one at 21.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things. I think even for girls to get their tubes tied, they don't just up and do it at super young age.
Don't up and do it. No.
Yeah, it's weird. I find that strange.
Very
It's,
strange. So,
oh, we're not going to let you decide to not have kids. We're
see
just
what I'm
not going to
saying?
let you do that.
but we'll let. But
decide to
there
change your
are
body.
certain places that will let kids go through that. Absolutely. And guess what? It happens in America and also happen overseas. In the UK, it's a big problem.
That's
Now-
interesting.
Now, I'm not saying that, they can't, kids can't decide who they,
Mhm.
in high school, whatever the fuck. Yes.
You
they
know
should
what
be
you
able to
like. You know how you feel.
Yes, I understand that. But from
we're
a
not
physical
gonna-
standpoint, you can't do that until you
Right.
become an adult.
Right.
That's just how this goes. So
It's one of those.
Uh-huh.
Not to cut you up, but it's one of those. It's unfortunate for the person if you have to continue that far into development, but it's not a decision that you should be making prior to
You being
our
18 years old.
technical adult age. Yeah,
Once you become 18 years old, and then you can move out your parents' house, you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want to do at that point.
right.
Then if you want to do it, then absolutely. But if I'm 30 years old and I got 5 more years if I ever want to get a vasectomy.
Mm.
At the earliest. And then they may deny it. Say, you don't even have kids, sir. Can't happen.
They may let you do it at 30.
They may, but the fact that I have to wait so long, you see what I'm think about it.
It's the fact that you have to wait in general. Yeah, I think
It's weird.
my boy might have been 34 when he did his.
So
but even still, you have to wait.
You have to wait.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not against people transitioning when they become older. Do that. But kids know. So when the movement was behind shit like that, I couldn't get with it, right?
And sorry, before you continue, I think
Sure.
part of the reason with the vasectomy thing was you might want to change, you might change your mind, and this might not be reversible. So
And those are things that
wait. So it's weird that they say, oh, if this is the stipulation that they did add, it's weird that you add the stipulation for that, but you're willing to remove the stipulation with a kid who wants to make a decision that's going to permanently change their body.
2 + 2 = fucking 15. It makes no sense.
It might.
Makes no sense. So for the longest time, I did not agree with the full fucking movement of it.
Mhm.
Certain portions of the movement, absolutely. But when it came to the kids, I feel real fucking weird. I still do. Don't like that shit.
Mhm.
But there was a conversation that you and I were getting into in pre-production, and your wife chimed in as well, helped open, like you guys were talking. I came to this conclusion. While I don't like kids going to pride parades because you got a whole bunch of shit going on that is not kids friendly, right?
Right.
I also don't agree that kids should be going to carnival.
No, absolutely not.
Should not. And then also too, you do see fucking, like, sometimes you'll see outfits of like little girls and shit at the spot. That shouldn't be happening. But then also too, you know what else I hate besides carnival? And also besides kids going to kids at carnival and then also 2 kids at pride. There's one other thing too I hate, Zen.
What?
The mainstream version of it all. Fucking Miss Teen USA.
Yeah.
And Miss Teen New York. And Miss Teen whatever. This whole full exploitation of fucking kids is weird. And don't get me wrong. Me and my partner Justin, we are proud members of the Gays Against Groomers. That's a fact. We're with that shit. But this needs to be more than just Gays Against Groomers. Where are the fucking straights at? Going against this goddamn fucking pedophilia left and right that's been happening. Don't get me wrong. We should get on our high, we should be putting our fucking goddamn our goddamn sticks in the sand someplace when it comes to kids. Don't get me wrong, but don't get on your fucking high horse when it's the gays, but then you motherfuckers been doing it for the longest time. And not saying a goddamn thing. What about that, huh?
That is what
you got grown ass. Hold on, Zen. Let me say this real fast. You got grown ass men and grown ass women judging the goddamn teen girl on her looks, her hobbies, do this, do that, gotta look good while you're doing it. It's fucking odd. It's fucking weird. But then also, too, you know what's even fucking weirder? What's even fucking odder? Is the fact that goddamn Glennie Maxwell and goddamn Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, they had a list of individuals that they were complicit with in regards to goddamn pedophilia and human trafficking and sex trafficking within not only the United States of America, but within the goddamn world. And you know definitely Great Britain in regards to good old Prince Andrew, baby. Yeah. But besides him, who else do we know? What else is the rest of that list with those powerful individuals? We know who was on his private plane, who ended up at his private island, but who was buying and getting serviced by these sex trafficked individuals, and in some cases, in a lot of cases, were minors. But then no one wants to say a goddamn thing about this. But then you all want to get in your high horse with the gays. I'm not saying that they right, because we gotta shut that shit down too. But we need to shut this shit down on a large fucking level. So don't just do the gays against fucking groomers. We need to be fucking society against fucking groomers. And guess what? They don't just come from the fucking gays. They come from the fucking straights too. Because guess what? You motherfuckers will still go into your churches with your preachers, and they were still touching your fucking boys, touching your girls, and fucking your nuns left and right. And guess what? They will send these motherfuckers? Not to jail, but to some and they send them to an internal goddamn camp, a reform camp. That would teach them not to touch little kids and shit. You motherfuckers still going to that damn churches and shit like that with your noses held high and fucking thinking you're all high mighty than everybody else. Go get the fuck off your high horses. Let's get down here and truthfully save these fucking kids. And let me offer you a fucking solution. Flip the bitch. Flip the bitch. If your politicians aren't going to push for that shit to goddamn get for those that list to get pushed out, get them out. If your politicians aren't with fucking goddamn truthfully locking up all of these priests who are out here touching these kids, get them out. If I gotta take a drink of water in my throat. If your politicians are okay with children being in vicinities with adults with some kind of nudity or overtly sexual act, listen, if a club is labeled like, if it's a PG-13 movie, then that means you can't bring in your fucking 8-year-old. Yeah, with permission you can, but in certain shit you can't. You can't bring an 8-year-old to a fucking goddamn rated TV MA. So we have a TV MA live, and in your state it somehow gets off, and somebody's not going to jail. You need to fucking get those politicians out of there. Revamp, redo this whole fucking system. Because if you think for 1 second that it's gonna stop, no, we're not even in the middle of it. It's literally still just begun. And I'm sorry for that whole fucking rant, but I just had to get that off my motherfucking chest.
Well, there's a few things that you bring up that it's super interesting. One of them being even in the pre-production, the thought of the teen pageants. It's not one that generally crossed my mind as something like that we should be revisiting and wondering, like, why are we even doing this? Why do we have this set up? Why are we putting this mindset into these people that they have to look a particular way to go on stage and be judged by other people and give that much of a shit about what they care about? This isn't, to me, like those men's physique or women's physique where it's like you are physically going out and sculpting your body to be judged. This is we want to determine who's the prettiest kid in the country, and we're gonna have these grown adults judge these kids in front of a whole bunch of people. So it's weird that we even do this. The little beauty pageant things, like, I understand wanting little kids to feel confident and to build confidence and help them work toward things and stuff, but to do a beauty pageant that you're not then using other kids to judge in some form, you're going to have grown adults looking at like figures and determining whether your figure and shape is great. Like, this isn't something that crossed my mind. So then when you bring it up, when it's brought up of we're going to gripe with the kids that are gay
pride parades and the drag shows,
things like that. It's like, you're
like
gonna gripe about that. Why didn't you even think about the fact that you're good?
No, I need some.
Oh. Why are you not even thinking about the fact that we have a whole pageant dedicated to children? Children. I'm stopping Cam for a second just because, but I'm still here. Good.
Yeah. So listen, we'll do that for a second. Now listen here. That brings up one hell of a point. Why would you not think that? And that's the issue with society as a whole, is that until we get on our high horse, we don't ever actually think about anything outside the box. It's until something pisses us off, then we're just like, oh, that sucks. But then you won't even think about the own reality that you're currently living in that speaks to exactly what you want to go against.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird time and place and space that we happen to be in.
And then you add on top, we've now passed the law that says you can no longer, or that you have the right to ban abortions. So we're going to make people have kids. But then you have your Ghislaine Maxwell, who we're going to sentence to 20 years for grooming kids to be abused. And then we're also going to knowingly, like you mentioned, have this list that we're not willing to release for these kids who are groomed and abused, but yet we care so much about the kids that we're not going to let you abort them. We care so much about them that we are not going to lock up the people that we know abuse you. We care so much about them that we are going to have churches run by people who we know abuse people. We have Mormon places where you're in a community that we know people are being openly raped and statutorily raped, and we're going to just let those people keep living because they're in their own community. And we're just going to leave them there and leave them with other kids to grow up abused who have no clue that this is even abuse because they don't know anything on the outside world.
How long did it take us to get R. Kelly? Think about that for a second. And you knew. And then there was a sex tape out with him pissing on the girl. Everyone saw it. Think about that for a second. But then hold on.
It took a whole
this
trial.
Fucking bastard. Let's talk about this motherfucker for a second. Jared Fogle. He was out here indicted with goddamn child pornography and travel to engage in illicit sexual contact with minors. He only got 15 years and 8 months of prison in 2015. Only got a fine of $175,000. He had to forfeit 50,000 assets and only had to pay 1.4 million in restitution. But guess what? This motherfucker was rich as fucking shit. So that was a drop in the fucking bucket. And you're telling me he gets out in 2028 and some shit like that?
And then what's wild is you only gave him
the 2028 when like good behavior and shit.
But you only gave him 15 years for doing it. Then on top of the fact that he actually did it, you took somebody who groomed hundreds and gave them 5 more years. 5 more years for grooming a bunch of people that you know happened. It's not they don't know this either. You can't front like, oh, we don't really know what she did. You know what she did.
Well, why is human? Listen, this is something. And then you know what, folks? Glad you listen. If you hear this long, then got some special news for you. We'll drop this in here. Black and Berry season 5 is already in pre-production. We got some shit going on. We're going to go straight into conspiracy land. Don't get me wrong. We won't be going to conspiracy land without having our main man's in there. And Devon will be making an appearance as well. But there will be an episode about human trafficking and sex trafficking, specifically within America, because you motherfuckers don't get it. And I didn't even realize it until I had to, like, somebody, because I've said it before, speaking about the border. But I was reminded of it recently by videos Zen and I have been watching. This one person reminded me of it. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that for a second. It even slipped my mind. Think about how much I was yelling about that with the kids asking where they're going. Even slipped my mind. And I was talking about it all the time. Had to remind myself and then had to get sick to my stomach when I realized old buddy was right. Number 1 folks in America that are trafficked are fucking Americans by Americans. We don't know nothing about that. Nothing about that. But listen, but the reason we know nothing about that is because it connects to all of this shit in regards to your Maxwells. Because you know what? You have to ask yourself, what if R. Kelly got some of them bitches? Like what if he got some bitches through Epstein? You can't tell me that they didn't crawl circles. You can't tell me that didn't happen.
Girls, I met these people. We can't get you out to the island, but here, hit them up. You should be good. And then he slipped up, so they outed him, left him on his own to flounder. They're like,
maybe he had to be a scapegoat.
You'll occupy their minds. They won't focus on us.
He got married. He married Aaliyah. How old was the woman? Excuse me. The girl.
The
girl.
Yes. That's sick.
I was about to say, you know what?
Look at Jay, and who's involved with that? Who is involved with that?
How is somebody not biting the curb over that?
Who else is involved
How?
with that? The biggest name in hip hop, one of the biggest names in hip hop, also involved with this. Like, swept under the rug. Why? Because she did. Yeah, it's weird. We're in a weird world.
We're in a fucked up place, and we're here to just point it out to you, motherfuckers.
Yep.
Everything that you believe and you love, it's all fucking lies. Look, you got to really start looking and diving deep into this shit and start asking yourself, like, this is what I do. This is what I literally do, people. And also, too, take my own opinion on it and do it against me. But I listen to people, and then I purposely try to then look up, like, okay, what's the other side? Like, look it up from that point of view. Stop pigeonholing yourselves. You're fucking us. You stupid motherfuckers. And don't get me wrong, me and Zen got another episode as well to record in regards to you motherfuckers clinging to your bum-ass gangs. But I'm about so sick and tired of just watching society crumble because you motherfuckers don't have the wherewithal and the capacity to think on 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional, 5-dimensional. Just think different ways at a subject. It's not black and white. We live in a fucking gray world. Mm-hmm. You understand that? It's not going to be cut and dry. Mm-hmm. It ain't. If you think it's going to be cut and dry, go fuck yourself. You're part of the problem. We got to get rid of you. You got to go.
You haven't lived somehow. I don't know how you made it this far in life.
How?
Anything is cut and dry. Anything.
How do you motherfuckers not have friends on both ends of the aisles with some of this shit?
Right.
How are you not able to kind of figure out, like, all right, there's a way to meet in the middle for certain shit, certain regards? Because guess what? While you may happen to lose a little bit in this regard on this battle, you want to win more in this one, because guess what? At the end of the day, you want everyone's rights and equality in life to not be stomped upon and fucking goddamn done away with. Don't get me wrong, certain people we don't give a fuck about, but god damn it, we've gotten so far away from the fucking point, and now then you got fucking external fucking affairs as well as internal affairs fucking us left and right, and you motherfuckers can get your head out your ass. I'm sick of this shit. This ain't a performance. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be cute. I didn't think of this shit beforehand. Go fuck yourselves.
That's all you can do at this point, really, right?
I'm sorry, Zen.
If they think it's a game, if you don't realize in some form
this is serious
that things aren't cut and dry. I don't understand. Like I said, don't understand how you make it this far.
Could you imagine this, Zen? Think about this. Because I was listening to that motherfucker Bustamo. Bustamante, is his first name is Andrew, the spy, the CIA spy?
Something like that.
He was talking about the Taiwan, and he was talking about China taking over Taiwan. I started looking more into it because then I thought about the Hong Kong situation. I was like, oh, they did take over Hong Kong with no problem. No one did a damn thing about it because COVID did happen immediately afterwards. But all we were doing was just like, oh, that's bad for Hong Kong. But nothing truly happened. We didn't. The sovereignty of that nation was kind of like, it is of that state. I should say it was what it was because they were in the nation of China. But you have to ask yourself, when they make a move on Taiwan, and what happens if, God forbid, Joe Biden is still in office when that happens? Because he's already said himself, if they invade Taiwan, we will put American troops, like they will have to deal with actual American troops. What the fuck happens then?
I don't
Joe
think
Biden at the president.
I think Biden would back out.
You think so?
Yeah. I think he would back out.
Would the guy controlling Biden back out?
No.
Or woman or entities?
Woman wouldn't do anything. I don't think she'll involve herself. She'll dip off and get lost in something.
Trust me, any woman that's
guy backing him, he might not.
No,
he might push for it.
Let me tell you something. When it gets to that game of power at that level,
they're all on the same page.
Sex is nothing. That's power. Power gets power. That's all about power.
Saying her in particular. I think her in particular.
I'm not talking about you. Talking about Kamala. Kamala's not.
That's what I mean. I think she would dip off somewhere and go. That's what I mean. But I'm saying the woman behind, she would in the process of what should we do? She would dip off somewhere and get lost, trying to figure out how to do a TikTok dance or something to try and stay relevant.
You come after the first black president of the United States. You come after him after a wild ass time, and you aren't able to raise your stock or at least separate yourself in a way from this fucking lunatic in office right now. Like, your political career is done. You're gonna have to get into the private sector. Go write yourself some books. Go on television shows. Go talk about it. Go fucking teach yourself a course or two. You'll make bread, but you're done politically. You're fucking done. You're a loser.
Yeah. I don't see her making you very far in anything else.
You got this old bland white leading you around like a motherfucker to coin a phrase from Pat McAfee.
She will have 2 books out in the next 4 years.
Oh, easy. She gonna make a paper.
All about
She's
the White
fucking
House.
useless too. Yeah. But then the question will be, when she releases a book, will she be black? Will she be Jamaican? Or will she be fucking Indian?
You get all 3.
Depends on when she releases it, right?
One in each book, right?
Yeah, right. She's got to fucking make sure everybody gets fucking represented. Fucking bullshit. All right. Well, we got one more, don't we?
Yes, we do. If you couldn't get fucked enough, we can add this to the list too.
Oh yeah. This is gonna be fucking really fucking fun for folks. So we're doing the More Perfect Union video, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, folks. So like, ultimately, you know what? You want to break this down for them, Zen?
So this one is if anybody has tried to travel recently, I can almost guarantee you ran into some form of an issue. If you did not, that's wonderful for you. But in most cases, your flight's either being delayed to canceled last minute, canceled flight home. You book it doesn't matter when you book. It used to be like don't book on to fly back on Mondays because Mondays are really bad. Now it's like no matter when you book, you have to be prepared for your flight to be canceled and to have money on deck to rebook your flight, because of the fact that the airline may not get you your money back. The airline may not have another flight to book you toward and can only give you some money toward a different flight that you book within the same day, which means you still might have to come out of pocket for more. But why are they doing this? Why are they doing
out.
That's the $1 million question.
Well, let's see what it's hitting for.
Has never been a worse experience.
Travel nightmare played out at airports across the country.
Customers are left frustrated by the cancellations and the delays.
Thousands of cancellations.
Skyrocketing ticket prices.
It's called the misery map.
Tens of thousands of flights have been canceled at the last minute in recent months. Experts say they've never seen anything like it.
I don't see an end in sight. This is really unprecedented in terms of the number of cancellations that are occurring so close.
Jesus fucking Christ. It's only going to get worse.
To departure time.
Media reports have blamed the airline chaos on weather problems and staff shortages, but that misses the bigger picture. These cancellations are really a scandal about corporate power, one that airline executives engineered. Here is how it worked. During the pandemic, airlines secured one of the biggest public bailouts of any industry, $54 billion.
I think they was weren't they the first industry to get bailed out?
No, we did. We bailed out the auto industry. Don't you remember?
It was auto first, then the airlines.
Yeah, we did the auto industry back in 08, maybe 09.
No, the pandemic. I mean the pandemic.
Oh,
they're talking about with the pandemic. I'm pretty sure the airlines got bailed out like right at the beginning, and everybody was kind of flipping out about it. It's like, oh, why are you bailing out the airlines over trying to help the people first?
Yeah. I got you. Yeah. It was the airlines. What was it? I don't know. I don't know. But we're gonna go with it. Might have been.
The catch? They couldn't lay off their workers, but they found a loophole.
Delta will soon offer employees buyouts and early retirement opportunities.
October 1, furlough day for 30,000 workers at United and American Airlines.
Instead of layoffs, airlines used furloughs and early retirements to push out pilots and crew. By fall of 2021, they'd shrunk their workforce by 56,000 people. Airlines schedule their flights 11 months in advance. They know they don't have the pilots.
Because they were banking on the fucking world to still be out. But then this is the fucking world we live in.
To service these flights. So now passengers are paying the price. Airlines are essentially committing fraud, scheduling and selling thousands of flights they know they can't service.
They sold tickets to the traveling public that they cannot live up to, and it's driving us pilots crazy.
I hate seeing some of the things that we're putting out about specifically being fully staffed for this summer.
So we're well staffed for the summer.
I know that that's not true. We're making these empty promises.
We get the gist of it for the folks. I think they can kind of get into us now, Zen, because God bless me, because I know you don't believe in them, so I'll bless myself.
Bless.
Now, fuck you. Take it and
yeah, your heart skips. Your heart stops for the sneezes. So bless.
No, I appreciate you. Go fuck off. So, listen. This is. You can kind of tell what's happening, people. They book these flights. They cancel the fucking pilots. They're pocketing the bailout money. They don't give a fuck. But then once again, you motherfuckers don't give a fuck either, because it doesn't affect you right now. But then when it does affect you, that's when you're going to want somebody to give an actual fuck. This is the larger issue within the goddamn place, Zen, is that for some reason, we the people have forgot it is we the people. Not us should be fucking okay with these corporations fucking us over left and right because it doesn't inconvenience you at that time. If it inconveniences your fellow man, it will turn to eventually inconvenience you. So why? Listen, these motherfuckers regulate everything under the sun that we don't want them to. Mm-hmm. The one thing that they should be keeping their eye on, should be possibly regulating, they don't want to look at all. You got to ask who's getting their pocket lined through this.
So the video goes later into Buttigieg apparently has something to do with how the airline stuff works.
Really?
So they were like, yo, it's kind of funny that you step up and are asked to do something about it. And he's kind of like, well, we'll just kind of leave it on it to fix itself, basically. Like it will eventually, I forget what he says, but it basically, he took no action on it. Turned around and had his flight canceled.
Hold on.
Right.
Has done little to address. Pete Buttigieg, who oversees the FAA, has done little to address these issues or the cancellations crisis. After advocates raised concerns, Buttigieg decided to meet privately with airline CEOs and politely told them to do better.
I let them know that this is a moment when we were really counting on them to deliver reliably for the traveling public.
The very next day, his own flight was canceled. The Biden administration has to take action and show that government is working. It's been done before, like in 2000.
All right, Zen.
That sounds like that Hillary knock it off thing.
Zen.
I met with the airlines and told them that they have to do better.
Zen. I apologize. Because I feel as if lately I've been good with the episodes. I've been good. I've been making sure I've been kind of keeping a rein on Dean and his rants and going crazy. Would you agree, or would you say that's wrong?
Yeah.
These past few episodes, right?
You were good.
This one I just can't help. Everything pisses me off this fucking episode's in. And let me tell you what really pisses me off is when I see weak ass grown fucking men. Men who are supposed to have fucking balls and they walk around with fucking vaginas and they didn't want them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the trans and the non-binary folk. I'm talking about fucking men. You a man, you got these fucking balls, let these motherfuckers hang. The fact that you're going to come on national television in a soft-ass voice with weak-ass eyes behind it and a demeanor that basically just says your puppy got fucking kicked, and you're going to say, well, I went to the airlines, and I told them, and I told the airlines that they can't keep doing this. They're not good off. Enough's enough. The American people need them to get right and do right. You didn't go in there and tell them motherfuckers if they don't do right, this is what's gonna happen. This is the issue with this whole fucking administration. You motherfuckers are so goddamn weak and pussified that you can't do a fucking thing right because you're trying to run around and appease the whole goddamn world. That's why they canceled your flight right afterwards. I'm not even in politics, and I know what that means. You know what that means, Pete Buttigieg? They told you to go eat a fucking dick, and not the good kind. Eat 1,000 bad dicks is what they said. And it wasn't being sexist. I mean, like fucking homophobic about it when they did it. It was just a fuck you. Because you motherfuckers are stupid and you're weak. You can smell it on you. Got this country looking all ways, left, right, underground. You motherfuckers are nowhere to be found. Leadership is fucking absent. The same way that the leadership was goddamn absent during COVID under Trump at the federal level. I'm gonna fuck what nobody says it was. It is now absent here. Not only under the motherfucker who's got dementia, but under his goddamn underlings who are pussy. Y'all not even trying to grasp for power. This is your time. You ran for president. You tried to become the president. And right now you're showing me that if you were face to face with fucking Putin, he would have eaten your fucking lunch. Matter of fact, the dude they just kicked out of the UK, he would have fucked you 2 ways to Sunday. And not sexually. I mean politically. You wouldn't know why, because you're a pussy.
He pulled that Hillary knock it off move. That's that. It's like oh, you guys are doing wrong. Just like try and do better, because just it's like I'm making money off you guys, so I can't really tell you to clean this up. My hands in here. I'm profiting off the fact that you guys are still somehow making this money. It's got to be that you're profiting off of it. Otherwise, you would do more than, hey, you guys 100%. Need to do better.
Matter of fact, you know what, Zen? You know what? Let me take my own advice. Let's look at it another way. Look at it another way, right?
Let's
look at it another way. So, people, either this is what happened. Either what I just said is correct, and he's just a weak, stupid pussy. It's either that, or he's smarter than all of us, even Biden. You want to know why?
On.
Because he's somehow since he is ahead of the FAA and he would be ahead of these airlines, maybe he's getting some kind of kickback. Maybe his pockets are getting aligned some way, somehow. And because he knows politics, he had to go out there to make it seem as if he really lost, when really they were in the back room popping champagne, happy as fuck, because they were getting over on the American people and the administration. And then on top of that, he then turned to them and said, hey, listen, guys, you guys got to cancel my flight. So it looks like we got some beef and you guys will give me the fuck you. But really, it's you guys aren't fucking me. We're fucking the American people and we're fucking the administration long dick style. So which one is it, Pete Buttigieg?
That sounds more right. I would say that sounds even more right than him just being a bitch. So I'm like, I'll play in the mix. My flight will get canceled too. I'll pretend that I came in here and we had a meeting about something, but like, here, look, you guys got to clean this up a little bit. You're getting a little too lax with it. Canceling too many flights. Like, all right, let's knock it down from 1,000 to like 900. Just
do that. Yeah, just 100. Keep it under the radar. That way they won't. The people won't realize it. And then listen, in a few months we got something happening anyway. Don't worry about it.
We got another trial about somebody whose cat got stolen and a couple's gonna break up. We're gonna run with that, but we got to make it to that. Key Lane's about to get 20. They're gonna talk about that for a hot second, and
we'll pivot to this real fast. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. But yes, this is we are screwing people. We don't have the workers. We're going to tell you that we have the workers when we know we really don't. It's kind of like my job did. I'm not going to go into it now because I might hop in and I might be online from promotion, so I'll leave it alone from here. But
yeah, leave that. Yep.
We don't have the ability to meet your need, but we're going to let you book and then good luck after. We're going to get you to your spots, but we're not going to let you get back home. And if you are going to get back home, it's have fun trying to hop on a flight that you can catch while you're there. Otherwise, good luck. It happened to me in Florida. I did genuinely get scared. Just me, my wife, and my daughter, and we're there in Florida. Flight got canceled the night before coming back, rebooked through a third party. And the third party put us on, one's on the plane, two are on standby. Can't really do that.
Not with little kid.
Not with a kid. And I think actually, yeah, it was my wife's, not Nori's. I was going to say Nori's was the one that was on the plane by herself. So it'd be like you're going to put a 4-year-old on a flight by themselves because that makes sense. We're going to book you on flights separate from your minor child.
Yeah, because
and charge you extra to sit next to each other.
Well, yeah, because we can put the minor by herself in a middle seat with two fat fucks on either side, and they can converge on her, and she won't even realize it. She'll be safe. Don't worry about it. And then we'll have the stewardess who's fucking goddamn tired, probably working who knows how many back-to-back shifts. She'll also, besides doing her regular duty, also look out for your kid who's not hers while she's dog dead tired.
And then you're gonna have some plant within there that will be that stewardess that is helping to traffic that kid. I mean, you got plants somewhere because I do know I am friends with stewardesses, so I know that they're not all shit, obviously. But somebody's in here working with you.
Listen, you know something else too, though? I'm gonna be honest with you. I know a few people who used to work at airlines. Only one of them is not a scumbag. Scumbag USA over there. Everybody's got a dream. Everybody's got something going on. So what integrity will they lose to get that? Who will they step on? Who will they crush? We were talking about a little bit earlier. The number one traffic people in America, who's in?
Americans.
By who?
By Americans.
Goddamn.
We do it to our own.
So why wouldn't we book that kid by themselves or make sure that kid sits separate from the parents? Because you know what? If we got somebody bad enough and we got the system right, they can get that kid up out of there before anybody sees anything. Or, anybody sees anything. Only people who see things are the people that we want to see them. And they didn't see shit. I'm going to have a really good smoke after this episode, Zen. I'm going to probably call you when I'm smoking. You got me fired up. What the fuck did you do? This is actually your episode. I only brought one topic. You fucking did this.
I did.
I've been fucking good. I've been like fucking goddamn I feel like I relapsed.
You know what? Sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need to go back. It's good. You have to see how far you came.
You've reminded me how much I hate everybody. And I thank you for that. I need to get reminded of that. Well, then I think we came up with what we did to get people thinking outside the box. I think that's what folks need to realize. That's what this show's about. We're not here to tell them what to think, but there's 2 ways, 3 ways, 4 ways. There's a few ways to look at things, isn't there, Zen?
That there is.
Will they think of them that way? I don't know. I think our loyal listeners, because we do actually have some loyal listeners. I think that our loyal listeners are with the shits. But if you're new and you're on the fence about it, you should probably look at some more stuff. Open your mind a little bit. Stop sitting so rigid. And no matter what your thinking is, listen. It's either the great Mike Tomlin said, either adapt or die for me. That's how it's got to be for you. That's how it's got to be for society. If you ain't with it, get fucking ran off the fucking track. We don't give a fuck. And if you ain't with it, you're going to say fuck off and don't listen to us. We don't give a fuck either. So if you think we're doing it for the fucking views and shit like that, look at the views. We're not. It's a higher power fucking pushing us to it. But don't worry. You won't give a fuck about us until we get there and we get big. And then you all say that you were on the bandwagon and how you fucking believed in us and you believe in the message. Well, hopefully by the time that we make it, it's not too late. Because by that time, when we make it, I hope you can think on your own, because we're going to have to give you messages. Who knows how we got to give you the messages? Keep up, son, or gal. Any last words then?
With the way that we ended this convo, watch Fractured on Netflix. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I think Zen, that besides us spoon feeding folks, we need to start giving them coded messages towards the end of things. Just because
things aren't always as they seem.
Because you want to know why? Everything that they read is not what it seems. Everything that they not see on television is not what it seems. So why should we be? Well, we do want to because we want to open their minds to it. But we also got to be teachers, huh?
Yeah, we do.
Good shit. Well, y'all, fuck off or have a nice day.